Hello and welcome to all you Virgos. Here is your monthly general horoscope for Virgo of July 2020. So these are not tailor-made individual horoscopes. Keep that in mind. You are the captain of your ship, so take what resonates with you because this is in general for all Virgos. Now, it's a very eventful month. Your ruler is going direct. Mars is in a new sign for a very long time. Saturn is back into Capricorn. There is an eclipse happening, and for the third time Venus is squaring Neptune. So quite a lot to talk about, but let's get started with the eclipse. Now the eclipse, I've been talking a lot about eclipses in Capricorn and in Cancer, so you know what's going on there for those of you who follow the channel for quite a while. And last year and a half the eclipses were happening in Capricorn and in Cancer. Now for the last time on the 5th of July, there is an eclipse in Capricorn, at the midst of Capricorn, 13 degrees. And Capricorn is a fellow earth sign. So always when these things kind of trine your energy or sextile your energy, it's better for you, okay? It's better than other signs. That's first things first. But this eclipse belongs to the Saros family 4 North and has a lot to do with blockages and illusion. It's not an easy eclipse. So the moon will be together with Saturn just re-entering Capricorn again at the very beginning of the month, but also with Pluto there, with Jupiter there. So again, a bit of a traffic jam there in your 5th house of Capricorn with the South Node. And then the Sun is in your 11th house. This is same old story I've been saying for so long to the Virgos, that when it comes to, it's like a last wake-up call. When it comes to control, this is an eclipse about control. And this is about the more you try to control, the less you will have the control. It's like the more you put on regulations, the worse it will get. And the 5th house is, for some of you who have children, it's about children. It's also about your projects. It's also about love, romance. So it's like a last message for all the Virgos, to the Virgos, that when it considers a child or a love relationship, a romance, so to speak, or the way that you love, it's about letting go of all those control and regulations upon these people, or maybe even upon a project that you're having. And it's about, I'm of course not saying, don't get me wrong, that when you've got a child under the age of, let's say, 15, that you just have to let go of the child and not control it. Or, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that when you are trying to force things too much because you want to let it happen in a certain way, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's better to let go. Again, keep that in mind. When it is about children, yes, you have responsibility for them. But when I'm talking about the older children or lovers, it's certainly about not trying to control them. It's going to go against you, basically. And it's going not to work in your favor. So yeah, it's not an easy thing for Virgos, because Virgo, the personality of the Virgo always wants to help. And I always want to do good, and I always want to help. But sometimes it might even be important for a child, an older child, not to help this time. And so that they take responsibility, so you give them the space. Or with a lover, maybe you really, really want that lover, you really want that attention, but you can question this. You can say, is that true love? Love, you don't have to fight to get love. That's also a lesson that Virgos are learning. When it's true love, it will stick, and when it's meant for you, it's meant for you. But that's easier said than done. So when you are a Virgo that is single or that has just met someone recently, this can be a lesson of, letting go and let God. Let go and let God, because rejection is really God's protection in this case here. So for those of you who are struggling with love, who are really wanting the love, craving the love from someone else, this is not healthy. and you have to go back towards yourself, and you have to go back towards your own aspirations, your own goals, your friends. That's the 11th house where the sun is. Okay, so it's like a last call. So probably some of you will say, Veerle, you're repeating yourself, but it's that last call. And Mercury goes direct in your ruler. You are in the 11th house because Mercury goes direct on the 13th of July. So anything that has to do with friends, that has to do with goals and hopes for the future, they're going forwards again. So there might be some readjustments, reassessing a friend maybe, that there's nothing wrong with that, or reconnecting with old friends and really deciding, look, this is a friend that gives me emotional support and this isn't. But when you focus on that, you're really gonna get a lot. You will be really surprised that, you know, it's not always quantity, is it, right? Quality goes before quantity, and that you are loved by people who are like-minded and that have the support for you. And I want you to focus on that, you know, married or not married, or single or not single. I want you to focus on like-minded people, friends that give you that healthy balance between I'm me and you are you. And I give you the space to be whoever you want to be, with the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you yourself give you that space as well, which is very difficult for Virgos because they want to be perfect, right? I mean, we Virgos, I have my sun in Virgo as well. It is very well known, isn't it, that the Virgos want to be perfect. They want to do, they don't want to make mistakes. But you have to love that part of you that is not perfect. And that's what this is all about. That is what this eclipse is all about and wants you to learn. So very, very interesting. Okay, now what else? Let's talk about Mars in Aries for a long time. Mars entered Aries also in July. In the very beginning. Yeah, it's already at the 1st of July, it's already in Aries. And normally it stays in a sign for 6 weeks now for the rest of the year. So everyone is going to have like a lot of energy going towards a particular area of life. And for you, it's the 8th house. That is a very deep house. That is a Sherlock Holmes house. It's the house of other people's values. It's the house of not only a financial house, like the financials of your spouse or whatnot, but it's also how other people value you. And it's also their support, whether it is money or emotional or maybe on a mental level. And the 8th house is also a very deep house, the house of rebirth, the house of death and rebirth. Now Mars is going to be there going backwards, forwards and whatnot. But for the month of July, it's going very quickly through your 8th house. So that means a lot of energy that you have there, an opportunity to transform, an opportunity to fight your own demons. That's the positive side of it. Is it easy? Not really, not really. I mean, it takes a lot of courage. It's really the house of, I see it for the Virgos as developing their courage. Because, and what is courage? Courage is you're afraid of doing something, but you're doing it anyway, you know, with that fear. So there could come up some fears there, but the thing is that you're learning tremendously. It's also the house of strength and the house of empowerment. So there's a lot, of course, I'm going to talk about this for many months because Mars is there for such a long time. But it's a good time to work on your own psychology, to be interested or learning and doing actively something with it, interested in the metaphysical side of life, astrology, for instance, or other occult knowledges. These are all 8th house stuff. So you're going to be working behind the scenes, basically. Some of you might have a new plan, might have a new goal, and it is demanded a long time, up until the end of, or the midst of November, and then you will see the results already when Mars goes direct again. But it really has to do with you getting stronger. Not that you're not strong now, but you getting stronger because you battle a bit your own shadows as well. But again, you've got time for this. This is a long transit. This is a very interesting transit for the Virgos, and I'll talk about that more in the next couple of months. And then last but not least, Venus square Neptune. So for the third time. So the last 2 weeks of the month, be careful of not idealizing too much and not expecting too much when it comes to your spouse, your girlfriend, your partner, your business partner, and also your work. Because there's a Venus square, a Venus in the 10th house of work, Neptune in the 7th house of relationships. So there could be, because of work or a change of work, or you doing something different that relates to work, there could be a bit of friction there with a lover, or there could have been in a relationship that some things are not really clear. If that is the case, it will clear up next month. So it's not that long anymore. But the thing is, best thing to do is that you don't want to fix it too quickly. You don't want to do anything or making important decisions when it comes to love because of the Neptune there. So wait after, if you can, of course, wait after, let's say the first week of August, and things will clear up for you for sure. But it can also mean that, yes, because now there has been some changes with the work, that maybe your girlfriend or your boyfriend says, I don't like it, or something like that. There is some disillusionment there. But again, it will become more clear after this transit is done, which is the beginning of August. Having said that, Virgos, I think it's a very interesting month for you, with especially Mercury going direct. It's always a good sign for you that things are going forward. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.